Hey guys, Bob here from Raw Strength and Muscle, and today we're going to talk about two types of bodybuilding genetics that nobody ever talks about. And when I say bodybuilding genetics, I'm not a bodybuilder, I don't train bodybuilders, but I'm just talking about two types of genetics that will help you stay lean and get muscular. And I'm not talking about what everybody else does, like how big were you before you started training? How did you respond to training? Responding to anabolics, none of that stuff. I'm talking about two things that literally almost nobody talks about. One of them is, do you just by your nature, train a lot? Okay. Are you an active person? Okay. Because one thing that I had, during this fitness journey, when I was researching, when I was coming up with my own diets and workouts, one thing I had to realize is I am by nature fucking sedentary as fuck. I do not move my ass unless I write down and make a specific plan on when, where, and how to fucking move. Okay. So I am a naturally, my natural disposition is to be fat as fuck and to not move. On the other hand, there's a video that I did years ago about a guy I knew in the army. I wake up in the morning, fucking Saturday, Sunday morning with a hangover, somebody's pounding on my door and it's a fucking friend of mine, okay? And he's covered completely in mud and dust, okay? I was in Texas at the time, except for streams of sweat rolling down his body, which had little mudslides running down his body. He didn't even try to come into my room because he's just thoroughly fucked, okay? And just completely covered in dust and mud and sweat. And I'm like, what the fuck just happened to you? If he had told me a bunch of people beat him up and dragged him behind a truck and threw him into a swamp, I would have believed it because that's what he looked like. And he's like, yeah, man. So Range Road, because every military post has a road where all the different ranges are. Go down Range Road and where they shoot the tanks and stuff. There are these hills, as a backdrop. So I wanted to go ahead and do sprints up and down those hills. Now, first of all, you're in the desert, okay? You're in the desert. You kind of look at something. It's just a couple hundred meters away. And then 5 hours of walking later, you realize you're halfway there. So first of all, just to get to these hills, he had to run his ass 3 miles minimum just to get to those hills. Then when he gets there, the guys were shooting on the weekend, so he couldn't get onto the range because he would have gotten his ass shot. So he ends up running down the street, trying to get on some other hills. Then he ends up getting lost. Then he ends up almost getting shot at because he tried to kind of sneak into a range that he thought was empty, and apparently they were shooting tanks, so it was so far away. So he ends up running the hell out of there. So he ended up running 10, 12, 15 miles Saturday or Sunday morning with a hangover, and just ends up at my fucking thing, at my door. And he's like, dude, you want to go ahead and get something to eat now? I have never in my entire life accidentally run fucking 12 miles ever. Okay, I've never in my entire life accidentally run 12 miles. It's just not in my genetics. But for him, it's in his genetics to naturally fucking do shit because he had no workout schedule at all, but he was in the best shape of almost anybody I've seen in my life in terms of running, road marching, swimming, being strong, doing calisthenics, just looking good, a lot of muscle, no fat. He was just perfect, and he had no structured plan, but he would just do shit for no fucking reason. I remember he was telling me that he used to do construction work. He was on this big airfield. It was a military airfield up Fort Drum, I think it was. And he was a civilian working there. And he's like, yeah, they had a truck that would bring you from one side of the airfield to the other if you had to switch, work locations. And he would just run. Everybody would be in the truck driving from one side of the airfield to the other. And he would just run and try to beat the truck there. That's never occurred to me. So you're working construction all day, and if you have to move from one work site to the other, you run instead of using a truck as though you're not physically active enough. Fucking insane person. He legitimately accidentally ran over 10, 12 miles, a lot. He would accidentally do hundreds of push-ups or hundreds of pull-ups. It would happen a lot. I'm not like that, okay? So if you are the kind of person who's active, okay? Another guy is a guy I used to follow a little bit on Instagram, Marcus Philly. Apparently he was a competitive CrossFit athlete. Then he opened up his own gym or something. This guy recently put out a video where he's taking in 3,800 calories, 3,500 calories, whatever, at 5% body fat. And among the things he was talking about is if he has a call with his business advisor, he will get on a fucking stationary bicycle and fucking have like his, his tablet in front of him, and he'll have like a Zoom call. I have never, and I think that I'm a pretty physical guy. I have never in my entire life been like, well, I've got a Zoom call, so why don't I just jump on a fucking exercise bicycle and ride for a fucking hour while I'm talking to somebody on a Zoom call? Like literally none of this shit has ever occurred to me. Okay. So that's the first type of bodybuilding genetics, okay? Like, are you an active person by nature, or are you a sedentary person by nature? The other type that I want to talk about now is very important, because diet is more important. Like, no matter how active you are, if you eat shit all day, if you drink shit all day, you're going to be fat. It's just the way it is. No matter how hard you work out, if you don't eat enough good food, enough protein, enough calories in general, drink enough water, get your macros, your micros, etc., you're just not going to ever get in shape, whether it's losing fat and staying lean or building muscle and getting strong. Okay. And certain people tend to want good or bad foods. Okay. So like, I remember there was this girl who was teaching a course. It was something along the lines of like curing people of emotional eating. And that's her shtick. That's how she gets people to lose weight, is by giving them like a better relationship to food, or one of those bullshit woo-woo things. But she said something that really got to me. And what it was is, it was like an interview with Brad Pitt. It may have been Brad and Angelina back in the day, but they were being interviewed, and the person's like, oh, you guys are in great shape. So like, what kind of food do you really love? Like, what kind of food do you really, have a hard time keeping your hands off? What do you miss the most when you're dieting? And they like did not comprehend the concept of like, enjoying food. Like, they were like, I don't know, I guess I kind of like eating this sometimes or whatever. They didn't have like, man, so like get pizza, and then you put like chocolate on the pizza, and then you put like ice cream on top of the chocolate on top of the pizza, and then you eat, and then you get sick, and then you vomit, and you just made some room for more, and then you eat another pizza with chocolate. Like, they didn't talk about it like a fat person talks about this shit. They're like, what do you mean like food that I really enjoy eating? Like, food for them was like, if they don't eat, they're gonna die. Okay, so they have to eat. Okay, so what should I eat? Well, I probably eat protein, a little bit of fat, maybe some carbs, whatever, fiber, whatever. Okay, because they had no emotional connection to food. I, on the other hand, if I don't like take out a calculator, a pen, and a piece of paper and figure out exactly what I should be eating and adjust based upon the results that I'm getting, I will just eat horseshit all fucking day. I'll like drink no water. I will fucking eat fucking horseshit all day. I will feel like crap, not want to go to the gym, okay? So like I said, it's like you are really blessed in terms of, staying lean and building muscle and strength. If you accidentally work out, you're just like an average, you're like an active person, and if you don't have this emotional connection to food, okay? So how do I stay in shape? Well, I've got something that is either called OCD or, Asperger's or whatever. It's on like the, what do they call it? The spectrum of, the spectrum of like, mental illness or whatever they call it, where basically it's like, I am really good at doing the same thing every day. I am really good at planning things out in advance. I am really good at repetitive, having a routine, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that's the only reason that I can actually stay in shape, okay? Like, I could eat shit all day, or I could sit down with my calculator, figure out my macros, my calories, everything, and stick to that diet plan. I can eat the same thing at the same time every single day for weeks, months, years in a row, okay? And not be like, oh, I want to eat something else because I want to have a fluffy goo-goo cake. Like, I enjoy eating the same thing at the same time every single day. I enjoy Sunday cutting up a bunch of chicken or a bunch of beef or whatever, packaging it up, so I have enough for like the next 3 weeks. Okay, I enjoy this. I actually enjoy this. And this is one of the only things that's actually gotten me, where I am now. The same thing with exercise. Like, I could go ahead and set an alarm clock, wake up at 6, have my little drink, go to the gym. I can do that. I cannot go to the gym when I feel like it, because that shit ain't never going to happen. Because then it's going to be one of those things where it goes on and on and on. Well, I'm tired now, so I'll go to the gym tomorrow. And then next day, so I already missed, so next thing you don't go for the rest of the week. I'm not the kind of person that's going to accidentally go to the gym. But like I said, because I am, somehow kind of OCD and I love writing things down, doing the same thing. I can do the same workout at the same time, day after day after day after day, eat the same thing at the same time, day after day after day, meal prep, the same time, the same day, week after week after week. And that is the only thing that's kept me in shape. So I recommend that you guys go ahead and figure out what your strengths and weaknesses are. You know, I did a video, and I'll go ahead and I'll put a link to the video below, like the one secret, okay, to completely changing your body. And what I basically said is, if you're a fat person who lives and dies and enjoys eating and drinking shit all day, you have to like kill that person and allow yourself to become a healthy person who doesn't eat shit and drink shit all day. You know what I'm saying? Somebody made a comment on that video. He says, yeah, he used to drink a lot. He stopped drinking. He has to kill the guy who goes out and binge drinks every week. And that's exactly what it is. You have to kill this person inside of you, okay? So like I said, find out what your strengths and your weaknesses are and find a way to get over it, okay? Because, if you hate exercise, okay, and you cannot, even like me, make like some kind of like a ceasefire agreement with exercise where like, okay, I will exercise at this time and these days or whatever, and plan it out and do it whether you want to or not. If you hate eating healthy food and you love eating shitty food, you're going to have to change that first before you go ahead and actually improve your body. So like I said, if you're not genetically blessed where you actually exercise just for the sake of exercising, or and don't have favorite foods you like binging on, if you're not genetically blessed like that, you need to find something within you, okay, that you can actually change your mindset. Change your mindset so that you actually enjoy working out, enjoy eating healthy. And even if it's just like me, where like I said, all you have to do is just write down a plan, what you're going to eat, when you're going to eat it, when you're going to work out, etc., and just stick to the plan and take emotion out of it completely. You have to do something that's going to get your ass in the gym and in the kitchen, eating and working out properly on a regular basis for an extended period of time. Because aside from that, if all you want to do is just, not go to the gym and eat crap, you're never, ever going to get in shape. Anyway, kind of a different video today. It's just something I just wanted to put out there. Like I said, definitely watch the video I made about the one secret to a physical transformation. I'm gonna have that link below. Aside from that, thanks for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. If you have any questions, definitely ask them. I love answering your guys' questions and videos. Aside from that, see you guys in the next video.